Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing two different credit cards by Bank of America. We're going to be comparing the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards credit card to the Bank of America Unlimited Cash Rewards card. So we're going to be going over the pros and cons of both, as well as the main features. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of which card is a better fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock and a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. Okay, so diving right into the main features of both these cards. First off, we are going to be discussing the Customized Cash Rewards card and how much cash back you can earn with this card. So first off, you will be earning 3% cash back in the category of your choice. So you can choose between gas and EV charging stations, online shopping, including cable, internet, phone plans, and streaming. You can also choose between dining, travel, drugstores, and pharmacies, or home improvement and furnishings. Then on top of that, you're also going to be earning 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs. Now in the 3 and 2% cash back categories, you're only going to be earning the 3 and 2% cash back on the first $2,500 you spend each quarter, so every 3 months. Then after that, anything above $2,500, you're only going to be earning 1% cash back in those categories. Then of course, on all other transactions not in the 3 and 2% cash back categories, you are only going to be earning just 1% cash back. Then as far as the Unlimited Cash credit card by Bank of America, this one is a whole lot more simple. Across the board, unlimited, you are going to be earning 1.5% cash back, so it doesn't matter whether it's on gas, dining, retail stores, all categories, you're going to be earning 1.5% cash back, so a lot more simple with this card. Now, as far as the spend bonus goes, with both of these credit cards, you do have the opportunity to earn a $200 spend bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 90 days of having the cards. So it's going to be right around $333 per month in spend, which is going to be quite doable for most people. Now, another benefit that both of these credit cards also have, exactly the same for both, is that you are going to have a 0% introductory APR on purchases and balance transfers with this card. So perhaps if you have a lot of unexpected expenses come up and you have to pay for them as an absolute necessity, and maybe you don't have the cash right now to pay them off immediately, you do have that opportunity to put it on these credit cards, and for the first 15 months you will not be charged any interest whatsoever. However, you'll definitely want to make sure that either of these cards are paid off in full before the first 15 months are up, because after the 15 months are up, then of course at that point in time your interest rate is going to be jacked up, which we are going to cover in just a couple of minutes. You're also going to have the 0% introductory APR on balance transfers as well on both of these cards, as long as you perform the balance transfer within 60 days of opening the accounts. This means that perhaps if you have another credit card out there right now, let's just say hypothetically speaking with Capital One, and you're paying a lot of interest on a month-to-month basis, you will have the opportunity there, if you do it within the first 60 days, to transfer from that card over to this card. And if you do so within the first 60 days from your account opening, you will have a 0% interest on that balance for the first 15 months. And just like your purchases though, you'll definitely want to make sure that that balance is paid off in full before the first 15 months in, because at that point your interest rate is going to be jacked up, and we will cover that in just a moment. Now, another thing that we're going to dive into right now before we go ahead and dive into the APR and fees is something called the Preferred Rewards Member Program with Bank of America. So basically, if you have so many assets within Bank of America, whether they're checking, savings, or Merrill Lynch investing program, then you can actually earn even more rewards, either 25, 50, or 75%, depending how much money you have tied up within Bank of America. So just for an example, you will be considered on the gold tier if you have anywhere between 20 to $50,000 for your 3-month average daily balance. And if you're on the gold tier, you're going to be earning 25% more in rewards. The next tier up from that is the platinum tier. With that one, you would have to have at least $50,000 to $100,000 for your 3-month average daily balance. If you're on the platinum tier, if that's the case, you're going to be receiving 50% more in rewards. And then finally, the highest amount you can get past that is going to be 75% more in rewards. That is going to be the platinum honors tier. With this one, you're going to have at least $100,000 all the way up to $1 million. They actually have a tier above this one as well, but that one also is just going to be 75% more in rewards. So once again, the platinum honors tier is going to be $100,000 to $1 million for your 3-month average daily balance. And if you're in that tier, you're going to be receiving 75% more in rewards. So basically what that would mean is that if you have the unlimited cash rewards card, and you're going to be earning 1.5% cash back. If you're on the platinum honors tier and you're earning 75% more in cash back, you're actually going to end up earning 2.625% in cash back. So it's going to be a lot more, obviously, if you have that much money tied up within at Bank of America. So now that we went over the main features of both of these credit cards at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, like we just mentioned, on the purchases, you are going to have a 0% introductory APR for the first 15 months. Then after the first 15 months are up, that is going to jump up to anywhere between 19.24 to 29.24% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, exactly the same thing like we just covered for the first 15 months. If you do it within the first 60 days from your account opening, you are going to have a 0% introductory APR. However, after the first 15 months are up, your APR at that point in time is going to jack up to anywhere between 19.24 to 29.24% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know your APR on them is going to be anywhere between 22.24 to 29.24%, plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to go ahead and dive into right now. So as far as the fees go on the cash advances, your fees are going to be anywhere between 4 to 5%. Then as far as your balance transfer goes, even though you will have a 0% introductory APR for the first 15 months, you are going to have to pay some fees on your balance transfer though. So if you complete it within the first 60 days, your fee in that case is going to be 3%, a flat fee of 3%. If it's after the first 60 days, in that case, it's going to be bumped up to 4%. Then as far as foreign transactions go, unfortunately with this credit card, there is going to be a 3% foreign transaction fee, which means that if you happen to travel abroad, this is a credit card you'll more than likely want to leave back at home. So with both these credit cards, there is going to be a foreign transaction fee of 3%. Instead, you might want to take another travel credit card that does not have a foreign transaction fee, or one by Capital One, because Capital One credit cards typically do not have foreign transaction fees. Then on top of that, there is also going to be a late payment fee. Your late payment fee is going to be up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first time, maybe even the second time, you could always try calling into Bank of America to see if they will waive that fee for a one-time convenience. Sometimes they will, but there is certainly no guarantee. So maybe you might want to set up auto pay or mark your calendar, do whatever works best for you. Make sure that you are paying on time to avoid that late payment fee of up to $40. And then finally, with this card, there is no annual fee. So with both these credit cards, you don't have to pay anything for it. No annual fee across the board, so that's certainly a good thing as well. You don't have to analyze every single year whether paying an annual fee for the card is worth it with the benefits that you're getting back in return, because you do not have to pay an annual fee with either of these credit cards. So now that we went over the main features as well as the APR and fees with both of these credit cards, at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and examine what I would consider to be the pros and the drawbacks of both of these credit cards. So first off, we're going to be discussing the good things about the customized cash rewards credit card. So the first good thing that I would consider about this credit card is the fact that you can earn all the way up to 3% in cash back in the category of your choice. Once again, those categories, you're choosing between gas and EV charging stations, online shopping, dining, travel, drugstores, and home improvement. Then you're also going to be getting 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs. Keep in mind, your 3 and 2% cash back is only going to be on up to the first $2,500 in spend each and every quarter. Then another good thing about this card is the fact that you're going to have a 0% introductory APR on purchases and balance transfers. For the first 15 months, that's definitely something you can take advantage of as well. And then finally, with this card, there is no annual fee, so that's definitely a benefit as well. Then as far as the pros of the unlimited cash card, the first pro is simplicity. 1.5% cash back across the board. You don't have to be thinking about what is my 3% cash back category, what is my 2% cash back category, what should I use each and every quarter, what should I spend more on with this card. It's very simple, 1.5% cash back across the board. Then, just like the other card, you're going to be earning a 0% introductory APR on purchases and balance transfers for the first 15 months. And then finally, there is no annual fee, so it's definitely a benefit as well. Now, as far as the drawbacks, the cons of the customized cash rewards card, even though you will be earning 3 and 2% cash back in 2 different categories, you're also only going to have that capped up to $2,500 in spend each quarter. So there is going to be a cap to that amount. And then finally, the other drawback of this card is the fact that you are only going to be earning 1% cash back in all other categories other than the category your choice, as well as a grocery and wholesale club. So that's a drawback as well. And then the only con really of the unlimited cash credit card is the fact that even though it is very simple, 1.5% cash back across the board, it also means that 1.5% cash back is pretty much just average. There are other credit cards out there on the market where you can earn 2% cash back. So with that said, it really wouldn't make sense to go with this credit card unless you're like a preferred rewards member where you can earn like 2.5% cash back across the board. So just to sum things up here, all in all, both cards are decent. Both cards could serve their purpose depending on how much you spend and what you spend in, which categories you spend in. But one thing you may want to consider is maybe having the customized cash rewards card for your 3% cash back category, and then maybe have a second credit card, one that earns 2% cash back for all other transactions. Perhaps you could consider the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, which also has a spend bonus and will give you 2% cash back in all categories across the board, which of course would be the unlimited cash credit card, which is only going to give you 1.5% cash back. But that's all we have for this review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.